all happening in a way that we will not be able to get our heads around. And crypto was the start of that. There are all these trends have been in place, but they're now about to hit adoption phase. So crypto is one of them. We're only at 300 million people. The next time we poke our heads above the water in 3 years' time, we'll be at 1 billion people, and then 4 billion people, whatever the numbers work out to be. AI has been coming for ages. And then it's like a nuclear bomb hits in one go, because it was so much faster in its adoption than anything humanity's ever faced. We've just brought knowledge, and we'll go into AI later, but we've just brought knowledge, infinite knowledge, scalable knowledge into the global economic system.
Cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence, AI, are two technological innovations that have disrupted traditional ways of doing things, and their combination has the potential to bring about a new era of innovation, efficiency, and security. Cryptocurrency, which uses cryptography to secure transactions and control the creation of new units, can be transferred across borders without intermediaries and is independent of a central bank. AI, on the other hand, refers to computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Prior to hearing from Raul Powell about his insights on how the world is changing, please consider showing support for the channel by liking this video and subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.
We've just brought knowledge, and we'll go into AI later, but we've just brought knowledge, infinite knowledge, scalable knowledge into the global economic system. And it happened in a 3-week period when GPT-4 came out. It went from 0 to 100 million users in 5 weeks. I mean, oh my God. And we're all scrambling. And then we've had more developments there. But that's not just the exponential age. The next thing is, well, in 3 years' time, we're going to be having this conversation. It'll be like how all the Uber drivers and all the bus drivers and everybody's been laid off because of self-driving cars. That bomb is going to happen. We're at that cognitive dissonance now of like, well, it's not going to happen. They're never going to solve this. And then immediately it gets solved. Do you remember the arguments 2 years ago? Well, machine learning is hardly AI. Next minute AI comes along and we're like, fuck, is this generative? Is this AGI? We don't even know anymore, right? And that's going to happen with self-driving cars. Robotics. It's another trend. I mean, just look at that Optimus robot, and he's not the only one. Tesla are not the only people doing this, but he happens to own the fastest supercomputer in the world, Dojo, the Optimus robot, the self-driving cars with all the visualization technology, the mapping of everything. And in addition, he now owns Twitter, which I argued a while ago was just to get the AI. And why he wants an unbiased Twitter is to get as much AI as possible. So we've got robots coming. We've also got genetic sciences. When you add AI into biotechnology, you create outcomes much faster. So we'll see huge breakthroughs in medicines. You would say that RNA vaccine technology is a huge breakthrough in technology. And we've got more than that, distributed computing power, space. I mean, today as we're speaking, Elon's just launched the largest rocket ever launched into space. Yeah, it was a successful launch, but failed to decouple its engine or whatever, and then blew up afterwards. But generally speaking, what he's doing in space and many, many others is another whole quantum leap that most people haven't got their heads around yet. I mean, the fact that we've got Wi-Fi all around the world now coming from satellites is kind of ludicrous, but it's happening. And that changes the whole equation. Data, 6G, 5G, all of this all Internet of Things, wearable technology, it's all happening. This nexus of technology is a game changer for humanity. It is the fourth turning moment. We can't even understand what the world is going to look like in 1 year now. We can't, you and I mean, I'm reading your tweet threads. You're doing a great job of trying to keep up, but it's impossible just with AI. And then when we've got stability AI, which means it's open source and people can build on it, this is just going to keep happening, right? AI alone is Reed's law, which is Metcalfe's law squared, which is why it's so hard to deal with. And all of these technologies together are all Reed's law. So that's a very hard point. But where it gets really interesting is to go back to your original question, is what can policymakers do about all of this problem that we've got? Well, the problem is we cannot grow new people. Demographics is destiny, and it's baked in the cake. We cannot accept large waves of immigrants in most countries because we don't have enough productivity. So it's like, okay, we're a bit fucked. We can't increase debt because we got to the end game in 2008. So the answer is productivity. So right now, productivity has not been increasing enough. This exponential age is the rise of technology, but there's one missing component that changes everything. All technology really does is leverage a calorie of energy or a joule of energy into an output. So the more efficient we get with our use of technology, the more output we can get per unit of energy. Because energy has been a constant in our lifetimes. In fact, for the last 100 odd years. Basically, if you do the oil price adjusted by inflation, it's roughly been around the same level for a very, very long time. But when you look at what's happening, is the exponential downtrend in the cost of renewables is a game changer. And that's without including nuclear, which will come into that mix. Then you listen to what the EU, Japan, China, the US, the UK, the big global economies, it's kind of like they understand this. Because what they said is, we're all in on renewables. We're going to incentivize this because not only does it help us with climate change, but if we can take the cost of electricity down to near zero, the entire productivity of the world changes exponentially. That is the way to get out of this mess. It's going to be GDP growth per capita because we'll have less people and much more productivity because the cost of energy is not anchored at $40 a barrel oil, whatever that backs out into electricity. Yes, electricity gets more efficient, but if you can drop that equivalent oil barrel equivalent down to $2, the fuck does that mean? Energy is then infinite. Now, yes, I understand battery technology is not far enough yet. All of these things, that's like arguing machine learning is never going to become AI until it happens. So I think the governments understand this, and I think they know it's the only way out. And that is why the Inflation Reduction Act, all the green stuff, everything happening. Europe, I mean, the Ukraine situation with Russia was an accelerant for Europe to say, we need to get this done, because it also works for geopolitics too. So it's like a win-win-win for policymakers. So that's what I think is happening here, is they want to drive down the cost of electricity, energy independence. You'll have a distributed grid of electricity, and then what you're doing is leveraging this exponential technology on top. I mean, it changes everything for everybody forever.
I want to come back to the specific way that exponential technology is likely to impact economies, because I think there's a pretty chaotic middle period, right, where we need to talk about deflation and changes in work and stuff. But before we do that, you brought up another piece, which is sort of, to the extent that we're trying to frame the underlying set of forces that are competing to shape the world. We've got now the demographic trends. We've got sort of the debt structure, which is the accumulation of economic decisions and policy decisions made over the last 50 years. We've got this sort of exponential technology that is, increasing at exponential rates. The other one that you just sort of mentioned is geopolitics. And I guess, on the same theme of how much do these different forces interact with the trajectory of each other, of the sort of demographic changes, of the technology changes. How do you think about geopolitical realignment right now? Obviously moving from a, strictly unipolar world to a multipolar world, and all of the sort of phenomenon contained within that. How much does that have the ability to shape how this all plays out?
So if you think of a unipolar world where security of resources was global, and the US was essentially the US, United Nations were the policemen of those resources. And if people stepped out of line, then they would step in. Now, that is changing because another country became such a large part of global GDP, which is China, which wants a say in the equation. I get it. We all would if we were Chinese too. If we were that important, we want our seats at the table. So what that really means is that people have now said, okay, we can't have this reliance on a globalized supply chain when we're not all in agreement anymore. So we need to go some sort of regional, or we need to change what supply chains are entirely. So the biggest supply chain issue for the world is energy. So again, goes back to how does geopolitics shape this? First thing you need to do is be energy independent. The US is energy independent, which is why it's always been slower on a lot of the green stuff. But Europe's not energy independent, which means it needs to be faster. Right? Kind of makes sense when you see it in those terms. This is also the system of money, and the fight we're seeing with crypto and everything else is it's the system of the dollar being so dominant that the US economic cycle is the global economic cycle. And actually the US has captured a lot of the benefits of that, and everybody else has had downsides. So people have we've had enough of this. The SWIFT payment system was the kind of globalized weapon. And even the EU don't want the SWIFT payment system anymore. Nobody does, because nobody wants reliance. So we're splitting into different factions in this multipolar world that is having real effects on technology, because now it's a technology race as well, about who can conquer space, who can conquer AI, who can conquer quantum computing. Because again, quantum computing is another one of these power law exponentials, because if you completely change the game on how much data can get crunched in one go, everything goes again. The ridiculousness of what is happening. So yes, these things all weave together. They're all part of the same narrative. The only narrative, the only big shift outside of that narrative was obviously China coming into the WTO. When they came into the world stage, that was a big structural shift, the biggest shift that we've had of our lifetimes.
The combination of crypto and AI is set to revolutionize the financial industry, enhance security, improve healthcare, supply chain management, and education. Already, crypto has disrupted traditional financial systems by enabling decentralized and secure transactions without intermediaries. As AI-powered financial tools develop, crypto is expected to become even more accessible and user-friendly, with AI algorithms able to make predictions and recommendations based on large amounts of data. Apart from finance, AI and crypto are expected to have a transformative effect on other industries such as healthcare, energy, and transportation. In the healthcare industry, AI is already being used to develop personalized treatments and analyze patient data, while crypto is being used to create secure medical records and streamline payments. Furthermore, the combination of AI and crypto may provide a solution to the problem of job automation. As AI becomes more advanced, many jobs are likely to be automated, leading to a major shift in the types of jobs that are available. However, crypto may enable people to earn money through decentralized networks and new business models, such as earning money by sharing data or participating in decentralized networks that reward users for contributing to the network. Despite the potential benefits of these technologies, there are certain challenges to overcome, such as regulatory issues and the need for more user-friendly interfaces. As more people become aware of the possibilities of crypto and AI, we are likely to see a rapid increase in their adoption, leading to a new era of technological disruption and economic growth. In conclusion, the combination of crypto and AI has disrupted traditional ways of doing things and has the potential to radically transform many aspects of our lives in the coming years. By embracing these technologies and overcoming the challenges that come with them, we can unlock their enormous potential and usher in a new era of technological progress and economic prosperity. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you found it informative and interesting. Stay tuned for more content from the Daily Coin.